This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
It helps if the pot's up.
Do you want to start again? No. Mark and Charity
Why?
Coffee Podcast.
Why would we do that?
Because when I screw up, we start over. When you screw up...
Mark's talking away. Nothing.
Yada.
Nothing.
Hi, everybody.
It's Monday.
Monday, March 27th today.
Yep.
Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum.
Let me just double check because we're creeping up here on 300 shows.
We've already passed 300 shows. We blew by 300 shows. Where you been? Oh, my
No,
gosh.
we haven't.
We are well over 300
We haven't
programs.
blown by 300
my
shows
gosh.
yet, but we're
past
close.
it. No, we're so past it.
No,
what are you
we're
talking
not.
about?
This is wrong because it's showing me 250 right now. And I know we're past
Oh,
Well,
my
yeah,
gosh.
250 on Friday.
No, we're
So
not.
this is the 251st show. I thought we were closer to 300, but we're not.
I thought we were at 1,000.
It feels like it some days.
What was the big day? Was it the 200? No, because look, they've got it wrong. Like, look back to our Super Bowl wrap. See, wait a minute. See, Pancake Tuesday was
that's what I
episode
thought.
322. So I don't know who's counting these.
Well, they have Yes Day, which is what we talked about on Friday.
Yeah,
as episode 250.
No,
So unless
we're
they
like-
took a bunch out.
No, yeah, maybe. I can see why they would. I think a
But you're
few.
right, because again,
we've
what did
been
I
well
say?
over 300.
250?
Oh, my God.
And then you're right, you go back again, episode Belleville Sends, back on October 22nd, 250.
Yeah. No, we've been well over 300.
Spotify
I don't
can't
know.
count.
I don't know what's going on. So we've done 1,000. Everybody, thanks for it.
Anyway, today is Monday, March 27th. Good weekend. We went and saw the Sens play Friday. Took the kids out to the game against, who are they playing? Bridgeport.
Islanders.
Little chippy. Got a little fighty.
Oh, fighty.
But it was interesting because it's so funny. It used to be such a big part of the game, and watching the fights on Friday, I was like, wow, this just doesn't happen. Like the crowd, it was almost like the crowd didn't know how to react or what to do.
Like we're not supposed to
We were
encourage it
afraid
anymore?
to cheer,
Yeah,
even though there
yeah.
was a group of kids just below us doing the fight,
Banging on the glass.
and my son now wants to be an AHL player. He's all for it. He wants to be part of the Belleville Sens. So it was a good game. And then Saturday was the history of hockey. So there were Belleville Bulls jerseys all over
Bully
social
and,
media.
and Belly were out and
We're
about.
together. They lost that game too. My parents went to that game. And I asked them on Sunday how it went yesterday. And my dad, being the passionate Sens fan he is.
Yeah, well, that's a long shot.
He loves his team. He said it was get up until the last 2 minutes.
Yeah,
And then they took
Penalties
a penalty
again.
and they lost in
Looked at
overtime.
that this morning. Belleville Senators third in the league in penalty minutes, and more than
It's incredible.
I mean, somebody has to be right. But
Yeah.
you say, but it's like 300 more penalty minutes this season than Utica.
Who is
So-
the next one? Who is...
No,
Oh.
they're just like one of the better ones.
Okay.
But we're behind Utica. So I'm not saying all 9 points are penalties, but when you hear that we have a 2-1 lead, then we take a late dumb penalty and lose
Yeah.
a point, well, you do that 9 times, that's why you're behind Utica.
And you sound like my dad right there.
Yeah. So is it a discipline problem? Is it a referee problem? Is it a tough problem?
Who knows?
Is it a youth problem?
But as you pointed out, they're still not out yet.
No, not at all.
They still have
Get it together.
a handful of games coming up.
8
before-
left.
Yep.
Pick
We're going
up-
to get footy on later this week.
Get
David
at
Foote.
least 12 of those points because I think they're 7 points back of a playoff spot, but
Okay.
they've caught up with the games in hand. So that's, you win 3 or 4 and the other teams kind of stumble a bit before you know you're in it. You can do it with 8 games to go. But there's no dumb penalties again. Like, that's done. There's no giving anything away. Goaltender needs to be your best player. Hold the stick loose. Get out there, have some fun.
Listen to you
Do it
with your
right.
hockeyisms.
I wasn't even a hockey parent. I was just a fan.
I know.
So.
Well, you are a fan.
Yeah.
And so that was going on. And then, of course, basketball was also happening over the weekend.
Was it?
I guess after Friday, it was kind of like bleh. Thursday,
Everybody's out.
really.
March Madness. We're all done.
When were Kansas and Houston knocked out? Thursday?
I think so. Thursday night.
And then Friday it just continued. And now what did you say, a fourth?
No, Friday, because I was texting you at the hockey game.
Oh, during the game, that's right. I was trying to pay attention to both. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we both totally lost.
So after
everybody lost.
Alabama got knocked out, I decided to check the Houston score, and they were down by 15 at the half. And I went, well, enjoy your game, Charity. We're done.
But it was interesting. You said in our 9:10 this morning, our staff meeting, somewhat congratulating Kay.
For outlasting us.
Yeah, she finished number 1. But to say she won really isn't true because she had Alabama, and so she didn't win, but she won the pool. She lasted the longest, as you said.
I think if you were to run the table, like if you were to get the perfect bracket, the perfect score you could get is 320. Mm-hmm. She won with 61 points.
61 points.
It's like winning in a golf tournament 12 over. You know, it's like
exactly.
No, yeah, you won, but nobody played well. You were awful.
The key thing though was I finished ahead of Mark.
Well ahead.
Higher than Mark. I was 5th.
And all I had to do
10th.
was buy you a dark roast 2 cream this morning.
I know.
And I'm happy to do that.
You had to get me a coffee, and I'm totally fine with that. That was awesome.
And they didn't have any donuts at 20 after 5 in the morning.
They don't down here. It's a smaller one, right?
I know.
So I think coffee, I think the beverages are their specialty.
Yeah.
So I do think the food items come later.
Hey, can we spend 2 minutes on something before we get to Fire Chief Sean Jameson?
Yeah.
Because I want to talk about that and the fire truck phenomenon of celebrating hockey and baseball wins.
I don't know how many communities still do it, but yes, we can talk
wonderful.
about it.
I think it's great, and I'm all
it's
for
incredible.
it.
Yeah.
But I was surprised they're not actually on the truck anymore. That's how old I am.
So we had 2, and it was the black team that won their...
Because black and yellow are Campbell First colors.
Yes.
That's so great.
So we had the black and yellow team, and both were playing over the weekend, but it was the black team that won the Eastern Ontario A Championship. So that is their... championship. That's their wrap up. That's as high as they're going to go. That's their
number 1.
Yeah, year-end championship, and they won it.
And for that, they get the ride with the fire truck.
A phone call was made to the fire department.
This is what I love. So somebody in Campbell, stop. I don't care where you're listening around the world. This is where we live. Ready? Somebody calls the fire chief at home, and by name. Mm-hmm. Has their number.
Oh, of course, yes.
Fire chief's like, wow, congratulations, that sounds great. He calls Noah, who's at the fire hall.
Noah might not even be at the fire hall. To be honest, he probably just sent a message out to everybody, and whoever could come would come.
And Noah's like, yeah, we'll get the fire trucks for the kids.
Yeah.
And then off they go, and they drive around Campbellford making all kinds of noise because the kids won the championship and the kids get to ride.
Yep.
And they remember that for the rest of their lives.
Wayne has done it twice. Wayne did it as a player when he was a little older than these kids, and then again as a coach about 15 years ago.
Remember it forever.
Yeah.
So we decided to check in with Fire Chief Sean Jameson because I thought the kids rode on the fire truck. Apparently,
this was the dispute between us, yes.
I'm so old, I remember when.
Good morning, Sean speaking.
Hi, Sean. How are you?
Hey, Chief.
Good. How are you today?
Great.
Good.
I got some questions.
Okay.
Because I'm not a hockey parent, so the riding the fire truck when they win a championship is a wonderful tradition that's a little bit new to me.
Okay.
They don't ride the fire truck.
I thought the kids rode on the fire truck.
Years and years ago, they used to.
See, years ago.
Okay, that's way before my time then.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember that at all.
Well, and that would have been, I think, before I was a kid. But years ago, that's what started.
Oh, my God.
We used to get them on top of the truck and ride them around.
Right. Okay.
But the reason you don't do that now.
Manner now.
Yes.
Sorry, and why? Why don't you do it now?
Well, it's a safety thing, right? So now they'll put them in the back of a pickup truck, and then we usually just slow speed around town, lets everybody get a chance to come out and see what's going on.
They're kids. They bounce. They're fine.
Exactly.
They're going to be fine. Okay, so let's say you find out, like the U13 one, you went out on a trip last night, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are you prepared for, do you take this into account? Hockey, baseball, soccer, all this stuff? How many of these trips do you think you do a year?
Usually only ends up being a couple, 2 or 3. basically somebody from the team. Like last night, a parent called me, and then I usually just send out a message to a few of the fire personnel, and there's always a few that like to be involved with it, and then they meet me down at the station, and we get it set up.
And I have to say, the fire department is amazing for taking part. It really is. Just a phone call or a text saying, hey, this is what the kids did. And Sean, thank you to you and your team, because immediate, yes, we'll be there. What time? We'll get the trucks out. We'll get the guys.
Holy
it's
smokes.
Amazing. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, they, a lot of them enjoy doing it. Noah there, he said his thing yesterday was, well, I know how, happy it made me when we got to do it as a team. And so, a lot of them like to continue on and do it for the kids coming up.
And yes, they are loud. It is loud.
It's got to be loud.
It's awesome.
Oh, my gosh,
awesome.
It's so good.
It's great.
All right, how are things in Trent Hills? Everything okay? Everybody's safe?
Everything's excellent today.
Excellent. Any burn bans coming up? We knew about something down in the county with the winds. Any concerns?
No, not at this point. We're starting to get ready. We're getting our vehicles all ready. That's getting to be that time of year where we have a few grass fires. People just need to be careful what they're doing. It might look like there's a lot of water on the ground, but the dead stuff is on top, and it burns pretty quick.
Wouldn't have thought of it. Thank you, Fire Chief.
Have a great day, everybody.
And that's what's so great about where we live. We can just call up the Fire Chief.
It's awesome. And it is. It's so much fun to watch them and to be a part of it. Nathan actually got to do it a couple of years ago, pre-pandemic, so 2019.
Okay, yeah.
He got to do it with his team.
Hockey?
Same thing. Yep, hockey. And I think he did ride in the fire truck, but he was in it. He wasn't on top. And got to wave out from the fire truck at everybody.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool, and we are very fortunate to be part of such a community that supports sports and fair play and the kids when they succeed.
The firefighters, we know them all by name.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, it's a lot of them are volunteer. It's a volunteer fire department, so a lot of them are volunteers anyway. So yeah, we know them all and we see them out. Sean, we've known for years. His young lad is friends with Ben, and yeah, so you get to know them. They're your neighbors.
Right.
It's a community.
And so he must know that come the end of March, hopefully we'll have a championship that we can ride around for.
I don't think they're very surprised. He and his predecessor, I don't think we're very surprised when they get the phone call.
Sure. I'm sure they're hoping for one.
On a Saturday or Sunday night saying, hey, can we get the trucks out or when? Because as he said, too, they are very aware. They don't want to disrupt your sleep. They're not going to start, because that can kind of create a panic too at midnight.
No, I don't. Oh, yeah, okay.
If you're driving around 12 o'clock at night, because I remember too, one year a team won it, and they were saying Mount Forest or hours away. So by the time they got back, it would have been early morning. So, of course, they're not going to take the fire trucks out that night. They would do it the night after.
Right, yeah.
And optimal audience, too, and get the town out and congratulate them.
Let everybody know.
But it's pretty cool.
So what is it in baseball? First week of August? Mid-August? Because there's a little bit.
I've never seen it for baseball.
No, okay.
Typically, it tends to be hockey.
You're a hockey town.
But I'm sure if it was baseball, because I can't say that I know of a championship being won in baseball either.
Okay, well, you're a hockey
town. So maybe this is
great.
the year. Who knows? When it happens, we'll get the fire trucks out.
Be like, wow, good for them. Boys or girls or mixed, doesn't matter, right?
No,
Championship's a championship.
Championship is a championship. And you know what? Our fire department would be happy to do it. They're a good bunch of guys.
That's so good. Want to congratulate Eric today. He was our winner with Beat the Bank, Eric Cohn, first-time player, which is one of the great reasons why we went with the register online. We'll phone you. Not that we're, picking people we don't know, but it allows us, when the random things come up, that it could very well be somebody that wants to play but isn't available to phone at that moment. They're available, but they can't have the radio on or whatever. It doesn't mean they can't play, and he was a great player this morning.
Well, and as we hear, too, it can be kind of difficult sometimes, too. So you may try to get in, but never been able to get in before, trying to call. So doing it this way, the randomizer comes up, we pick a name, and he'd never played before. In fact, he said he never really entered contests. He never had that kind of luck, he said.
Yeah.
To win anything or to be chosen or to play. And lo and behold, today was his lucky day, not only because he got to play, but he won $500.
Not bad at all.
Just like that.
And, of course, we gave him enough of a heads up, 5 or 6 minutes, heads up the time to text his wife, which is mistake number one.
I don't know. Her only advice rule was, don't be greedy.
Yeah.
And so you have that in the back of your head, and he stopped, and he played the perfect game, because that next fault was the alarm. So
it's not what I mean.
What do you mean?
Because
what was
he
the
won.
mistake?
The mistake is he told her.
Well, she's going to know.
Got $500. Honey, you won $500 on the air this morning? No, that was a different Eric Cohn.
Oh, stop.
I didn't win any. Right, guys?
No.
I didn't win anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever.
I didn't win a darn thing. Hey, did you get new mud flaps on your truck? What, these old things? No. You tell Wayne if you won $500?
Of course I would. I would be so excited. And he would tell me, and then I would spend it. But he would tell me. Of course he would tell me.
Oh. All right, Eric, good work on that,
And
man.
I wouldn't buy mud flaps.
No, for sure.
But good for you, Eric. I hope you do.
That was great. Coming up tomorrow on the show, Bill Gliska is going to be on the show, the executive director of the Children's Safety Village, because the Kids Got Talent hits the stage at the Empire Theater this Sunday, closing in on 3/4 sold. Get your tickets. He'll run through why you should go and why the Empire Theater is such a great partner of theirs. Coming up on the show tomorrow.
What else do we have coming up tomorrow?
We got those old-fashioned sayings we might be able to get into. I don't know if you want to go do that.
We're going to be talking with David Foote later this week about the Belleville Sons, right? We're not talking to him.
And
Catherine McIver.
This is a big podcast. Is she
going to be on tomorrow?
I don't know.
Or will we wait and talk with her on Wednesday?
I think we'll do that. We're going to record her tomorrow because the entire education system is going under the microscope here in the Quinte region for the district school board. And they've gone through a very long process of checking everything out, from which schools are going to stay open, amalgamate, bus transportation, timing.
They're looking at it all.
Budgets, like everything.
Yeah.
Nothing goes without scrutiny. And they've arrived at their final findings. So what better place to put it together than to hang out with us, have you listen to the podcast at your leisure, mums and dads and caregivers, and hear it straight from the Director of Education. And so that's a big podcast we're going to have for you later on this week. What's going on today? Is it Yoga Monday for you?
It is Yoga Monday today.
Yoga Monday. And nope, I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Nope.
It's Monday.
I'll go fall asleep at the parking lot of the Y on Tuesdays. Pretend I went. Sounds good. Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast on a Monday. Get out and have a great one today. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning on 95.5 Hits FM.